All right. In this explainer, we are diving into a toolkit that can seriously transform your classroom from dead silent into a place buzzing with real discussion. So if you're tired of those one-word answers or just getting blank stares, well, you're in the exact right place. Let's jump in. So picture this. You've just explained a concept. You're feeling pretty confident about it. You turn to your students and you ask a question that you think is, pretty straightforward. And crickets. You're just met with this sea of blank faces. Or maybe you get a couple of one-word answers, like yes, no, that kind of thing. Sound familiar? Yep, you are definitely not alone. And we're about to fix that. So here's the secret. The key to breaking that silence isn't about asking more questions, it's about asking the right kind of questions. This brings us to the core idea. We've got to move beyond just memorizing facts. So what exactly are thinking questions? A thinking question, simply put, is designed to make students think, not just remember. It gets them to analyze, to explain, to predict, to reflect. It's all about pushing them up what educators call Bloom's taxonomy, which is really just a fancy way of saying it's a ladder of thinking skills, and we want to get them to the top rungs. Okay, look at this comparison, because this is where the magic really happens. On the left, that's a recall question. There's one right answer you find in a textbook. But the question on the right, that one invites students to connect ideas, to use their own reasoning, to explain the why behind it all. See the difference? It's a total game changer. And this isn't just some nice theory, The research from big names in education like John Hattie actually backs this up. It shows that this style of questioning is one of the most powerful things you can do to boost student achievement. You're not just getting better answers, you're literally building critical thinkers and turning your students from passive listeners into active learners. All right, so theory is great, but what does this actually look like in the classroom? Let's build out your toolkit. We're going to break down 5 specific types of thinking questions that you can start using like tomorrow. First up, we've got open-ended questions. I love these because they completely shatter that one right answer mentality. A question like the one on the screen, how would you solve this differently? It opens the door for creativity and shows students that, hey, there might be a bunch of different ways to get to a solution. Next up, and honestly, these might be my favorite, are the why and how questions. These are the ones that force students to kind of pull back the curtain and show their work. It's not just about what the answer is, it's about the journey. How did you get there? Then we've got predictive questions. These are so cool because they basically turn your students into little scientists or detectives. They have to use the evidence they have to make an educated guess. This really gets them thinking about cause and effect. A fourth really powerful tool is the analytical question. These are absolutely crucial. They ask students to connect the dots, to compare different ideas, to see the patterns. This is where the light bulbs really go off. It's how all these little bits of information stop being random facts and start weaving together into this big, connected web of actual understanding. And finally, number 5, reflective questions. These get into something called metacognition, which sounds complicated, but it's really just a fancy term for thinking about your own thinking. When a student can actually tell you what strategy worked for them, they are taking real ownership of how they learn. It's huge. Okay, so now you've got the what, the 5 types of questions in your toolkit, but the how you actually ask them, is just as important. So let's get into 4 strategies that are absolute game changers. Strategy number 1. It is so simple, but man, it can be the hardest one to do. Use wait time. After you ask that awesome thinking question, just be quiet. The research is clear on this. Just pausing for 3 to 5 seconds, which can feel like an eternity, I know, dramatically improves the quality of the answers you get. That silence isn't failure, it's the sound of brains working. Strategy 2 is a classic for a reason. Think, pair, share. This thing is pure genius because it creates what's called psychological safety. A student gets to think on their own, then test out their idea with just one other person before they have to share with the entire class. The fear of being wrong goes way down, and participation just skyrockets. Okay, strategy number 3 is something I think we've all been guilty of at some point. You ask a fantastic question. There's a moment of silence, and what do? We jump in and answer it ourselves. You have to fight that urge. Let them wrestle with it. That productive struggle is exactly where the deepest learning happens. And our last strategy is to remember that the student's first answer isn't the finish line, it's the starting line. Always be ready with a follow-up question. Simple things like, can you say more about that? Or, what makes you say that? Push the thinking so much deeper. It shows you care about their reasoning, not just the answer itself.
And as we're trying these new things, it helps to know what to watch out for. Some common traps, like relying only on yes or no questions, or always calling on that one student who always has their hand up. And a big one is accidentally shutting down a wrong answer. Instead of saying, no, that's wrong, try something like, ooh, that's an interesting take. Tell me more about that. It keeps the door open for everyone to take a risk.
Okay, we've talked about the what, the why, and the how. Now for the most important part, actually doing it. And it all begins with just one powerful question.
This quote right here, it just perfectly sums up this whole mindset shift. Our job isn't just to be the source of all the answers. Our job is to be the chief question asker, the person who sparks that curiosity and gets our students to think for themselves. So here's my challenge to you. Look, don't try to revamp your entire teaching style by tomorrow. That's just overwhelming. Start small. For your lesson tomorrow, just plan one great thinking question. Just one. Ask it. Give that wait time and just see what happens. You might be absolutely amazed. So, what one question will you